I feel their eyes following me wherever I go. I will be walking down the street, not thinking about anything in particular, and suddenly, I'll get that crawly feeling on the back of my neck. I turn around, but the street is empty except for a small orange candy wrapper blowing about in the wind. I hurry home, my jacket collar pulled up to my neck to fight off the bitter chill. It's worse when I'm alone in the house. Then I feel their eyes through the walls, and no matter what I do, that feeling of being watched never fully leaves. I turn on the television, hoping that some cartoons will distract me. Bugs Bunny is on, and I laugh as he once again makes a fool out of Elmer Fudd. But then I remember that people treat me like a fool all the time. They look down on me and call me names. Names like Shorty and Four Eyes and that freaky psycho. But I've always learned to tune out the names. Names can only hurt you if you let them. Don't show a reaction. That's what my mother always said. Don't show a reaction, Howard. That's what they want. And it had worked for a while, until George Marriott and some of his cronies cornered me behind the gym 6 months ago. When I finally came to, I was in a hospital bed with 2 broken arms. Father told me the custodian had found me trying to crawl into the locker room. It took me forever to heal, and when I did, I went looking for George. I found him alone behind the gym, and at first he laughed at me. But when I plunged the butcher knife I'd taken from the knife rack into his jugular, he stopped laughing and made a strange gurgling sound. I laughed, twisting the knife, and yanked it out. And George fell on his face with a clunk sound that made me think of Sylvester getting malleted by Tweety. He jerked a few times, then went still, and I tossed the knife in my backpack and ran to class. I didn't want to be late. When I got home, there was a policeman there. He asked me all sorts of boring questions, like when I had last seen George, where I was that morning, blah, blah, blah. I told him I didn't know anything, and he left. Father was giving me a funny look. I could tell that he didn't believe me. What did you do, Howard? I grinned, then turned to face him, my eyes shining with tears. I stood up to him, Father. He'll never hurt me again. Never, never, never. I shrieked the last never, and Father's eyes widened at the bloody knife in my hand. I don't remember much after that. There was shouting and crying and funny sounds like a knife makes when it cuts through a melon. Mother and Father are in the dining room. They haven't moved in a long time. But at least no one's watching me now. Will you tell me a story?
Nope.
That freaky psycho. That freaky psycho. That's not very nice. Father told me the custodian had found me. Fuck. Father told me the Jesus. Why? Father told me... Just have your voice crack, that's fine. Fell on his face with a clunk sound that made me think of Sylvester getting... What? That is super creepy.